Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'll be showing you how to make drum and bass in the style of Pessimist, inspired mainly by his tracks The Woods, Thug and Minus. The project file, samples and presets are available in the description for a small contribution, and please consider liking the video and subscribing if you haven't done so already. Our BPM is 170 and we're in the key of E Phrygian, inspired by Thug, which is in F sharp Phrygian. This is the kick. I've gone for a more standard D&B kick, although Pessimist uses duller kicks in Minus, for example. Then we have the drums group. First, we have the breaks group. Which is comprised of a snare, break layer, and a rim shot. The rim has long reverb applied, as Pessimist does in The Woods. Both the break layer and the rim are from my UK Garage Breaks pack, but have been heavily processed before bringing them into the project. Then we have the high drums. These are the individual channels. Most notably, we have a drum rack with two shakers based on the same sample. The main difference is that shaker 2 is a tighter and shorter sample, although the shakers are at slightly different pitches too. Subtly altering samples in terms of tweaking length, decay, and pitch is a great way to humanize shakers and hi-hats, particularly if they are playing a straight rhythm like the one here. I've used the choke group in the drum rack so that when one cell plays, it mutes the other, like a real drum kit. I've also worked with the velocities to create a groove. This breakbeat 137 groove has been applied to all the MIDI in the drums group. The drum group has the default drum bus applied and EQ. Reverb is applied via Send A, which is this small room or club reverb. Next, we have the basses. We have the 808. We have a sine wave taken down by 2 octaves. LFO1 is modulating the pitch, which we can see in the matrix. The amp envelope decays over time, and we have a low pass filter with its cutoff taken down and the drive turned up with distortion in the effects. Then we have the bass effects. Again, we have a sine wave taken down by 2 octaves, but this time the unison is at 5. The noise oscillator has been activated to make the sound grittier. The envelope and filter settings are like the 808. LFO1 is modulating the master tuning again. However, whereas the 808's LFO was on envelope mode, this one is on trigger. I'll turn the echo off so you can hear this better. Glide is also turned on. In the effects, we have distortion, EQ, removing bass frequencies and some reverb. On the channel, there's overdrive and auto filter with the LFO enabled to sweep the frequencies around. Bass mono, since the patch is very wide. Then a ping pong echo, and we have a glue compressor to help the sound feel more consistent. And EQ. I heard a similar synth in Thug. On the group, we have an EQ with band 2 cutting the fundamental of the kick from the basses so it doesn't clash with them. Then we have mild side chaining using the kick. And reverb is applied via A. Then we have the effects. Which are comprised of this impact. Originally, this had quite a long signal chain like the bass effects, but with a long reverb instead of echo. However, I decided I wanted to stretch it using the texture algorithm, so I had to flatten it to audio first, but I'll include the original preset in the download. There's the ride. Again, this has been stretched using the texture algorithm, and reverb has been applied on the channel. Then we have the breath effects. On the FX group, there's EQ, bass mono to 500 Hz, and reverb is applied via A. Then there are the pads. First, we have the Atmos. Which is the polar noise in Serum with a low pass filter having its cutoff modulated by LFO1 with a slow rate of 4 bar. And there's resonance and drive on the filter too. In the effects, we have hyper, dimension, and distortion. On the channel, there's a frequency shifter, which I've used to tune the output to the key of the track. Then we have this vocal texture. Which is a highly processed vocal synth, and we have an auto filter with an LFO for some more movement. Pessimist uses vocal textures and drones in the woods and minors, and ambience is an important sonic element in his productions. Then there's the pads. This is a super saw with a rising amp envelope and a low pass filter with drive plus distortion in the effects, with the master tuning being modulated downward by LFO1 and it's 4 bar. On the group, we have EQ, sidechaining, which helps give the pads more movement and emphasizes the kick rhythm, which is important as drones can feel static. Bass mono, chorus, echo, and reverb applied via send A. Finally, we have the radio chatter. This is more vocal texture and ambience. A dubby echo is applied on the channel plus reverb via A. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.